We preview the San Francisco 49ers season and tell you if they go over or under 9.5 wins, and we let you know how you could take home $1,000 this NFL season, and it all starts right now. What's going on, everyone? It's Matt from Grandstand Bettors, and last year we cashed in 70% of our season win total predictions, so why not run it back here in 2022? And we're also excited to announce that our second annual NFL betting contest is now open at grandstandbettors.com. Link is in the description. Go sign up for free for your chance to win $1,000 in other great prizes throughout the NFL season. But without further ado, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, because it is time to dive into the San Francisco 49ers season preview. And the 49ers, they have a season win total of under 9.5. And what a run by this team last season. We did not see that coming as they made their way to the NFC Conference Championship, losing 20-17 to the eventual Super Bowl champion Rams. The key to their success last season was their defense and, of course, Deebo Samuel. Deebo had a huge year for them. He had 77 receptions for 1,400 receiving yards, and he had 14 touchdowns. 8 of those were rushes because he did run for 365 yards on the ground as well. Now, he led their offense to be 7th in the league in yards per game, and they put up over 25 points per game. Unfortunately, there was a lot of drama surrounding him and the 49ers this offseason because he requested a trade, which the 49ers did not fulfill. Shanahan was very clear that they did not want to part ways with him as he is a great dual threat player for their offense. Now, hopefully, things got mended for them in the meantime because it also looks like they are eventually going to part ways with Jimmy G. And speaking of Jimmy G, he has actually had kind of an off season last year, in our opinion. He only had 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, but he still managed to get the job done, especially in a lot of those important games, like against the Packers in the playoffs. Now, he was right in the middle of trade talks himself in the offseason, but his shoulder surgery was a huge concern for other teams. So at the moment, he is on the 49ers, but who knows what happens with Watson over there in Cleveland. Maybe they bring him in, but that's another story for another day. It does seem relatively clear, though, that the 49ers will be starting Trey Lance at quarterback this season. And luckily for him, he will be entering the league behind a very good line with some very good receivers like Brandon Ayuk and tight end George Kittle. With his running ability that he showcased in games last season, he's adding another level to this offense, which they haven't had since Colin Kaepernick. Now, this really is a big deal for them because their rushing attack over the past few seasons has really suffered from injuries. Despite that, though, they did rank 7th in the league last year with 127 rushing yards per game. And with Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson back in the lineup, it's going to be tough to stop this rushing attack this season, especially when you add Lance in and the offensive line that they have put together. Now, defensively, the 49ers, they were no joke last season. They gave up the 3rd least yards per game. Their secondary ranked 6th. Their run defense ranked 7th. And they only gave up 21 points per game. The line led by everybody who knows Nick Bosa, 15.5 sacks last season, and other guys like Samson Ebukam and Eric Armstead on the line as well. They get a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and they do a very good job at stifling their opponent's rushing attack. One big loss, though, for them this season is veteran defensive lineman Maurice Hurst, who suffered a torn bicep in training camp and will not play the entire 22-23 season. The reason this defense was so good last year, though, was because of their depth and all of the parts of their offense that complement each other. For example, another big factor in their superb run defense is their linebackers. Fred Warner, tackling machine out there, moves all over the field well. The Niners, they're also going to be getting back Dre Greenlaw after he suffered a groin injury last season, and Azeez Al-Shaair is coming off a great 3rd season in the NFL with 102 tackles. Now, despite ranking 6th in pass defense, they had a league-high 21 pass interference penalties. They had the 5th fewest interceptions and allowed the 5th highest completion percentage against them. With almost all their starters returning for the secondary, they should have a much improved year, as a lot of these guys have only been in the league a few years with the exception of veteran safety Jimmy Ward. The key here for their win total definitely has to lie on the shoulders of Trey Lance, but their defense has proven how good they are, and they should have no problem this year putting up similar numbers that they did last year. When you have that level of defense, you should like your chances in almost every game, no matter who your quarterback is. And the 49ers, although they do have the 5th hardest schedule in the NFL this season, the weapons they have offensively is now on a whole another level, especially if you add in the running capability of Trey Lance. And their offense with Lance is going to be able to keep them in games, and their defense is going to be able to win them some games. So this one might be a nail-biter as they enter weeks 17 and 18 this season, but we do think that the San Francisco 49ers squeak out enough wins to go over 9.5. We think they end up with probably 10. Now, we have 2 more teams to talk about left in the NFC West and the NFC in general as we finish up our season previews, and then we'll end with the Cleveland Browns still waiting on Deshaun Watson and what's happening with him. In the meantime, though, don't forget to sign up for our NFL betting contest over at grandstandbettors.com. We have great quarterly prizes we're giving out again this year, and the grand prize is $1,000 cash. As always, though, sit back, relax, and hey, if you're a 49ers fan, let us know in the comments what you think about Trey Lance. This guy going to be a star, or is he going to be a dud?